introduce you to two young ladies. Meet Aditi and Rochelle. They, hopefully, are carrying the banner for students like Kayvon, Mr. St. Germain, and they're here to tell us about a program at Carnegie Mellon University where they are both juniors in computer science.
Hi everyone, so my name's Aditi and this is Rachel. We're both rising juniors in computer science at Carnegie Mellon, and I'm from Georgia and Rachel is I'm from New York. And so I am on the outreach and content and French translation teams. And I have been working on the outreach team as well as the Spanish translation team for over a year and a half now. So just a quick rundown, we are, if you don't know us, we are an online, we offer free computer science curriculums, graphics-based and in Python, and we are CMU CS Academy. So we're going to tell you a little bit more about this, starting with our backgrounds in computer science. Yeah, so I actually started out doing computer science in high school, and I self-taught myself Scratch and AP Computer Science Principles because I didn't have room in my schedule to actually take the course. So I used Scratch during my AP CSP Create task, and I loved it. It was so easily accessible, very user-friendly. It had graphics which were very engaging, and so that's what CMU CS Academy has. And had CS Academy been around when I was taking AP CSP, I probably would have used that instead for my creative task project. Yeah, I started programming a little bit in middle school. I started with some JavaScript and HTML in an after-school program, but I quickly got pretty intimidated, particularly by for loops. I was like, oh my god. But then I had the opportunity to do a course in high school with Scratch, and I think the graphics-based approach really made it easier to get into, and this is when I really started to love computer science. And so without these early coding experiences, I definitely would not be a computer science major today, which is why what all of you are doing as computer science teachers is incredible, and that's why I love working with CS Academy as well. Yeah. And a little bit about how we got started with CS Academy itself. So both of us were actually in the same introductory computer science class called 112 during our freshman year, and one of the co-founders of CS Academy, Professor David Cosby, was our teacher for that class. So at the end of the semester, he was like, anyone want to work on this super exciting, innovative project? And we were like, sign us up! So we've been both together on the project for a year and a half now. Yeah, and it's not just computer science majors who work on this project. Students from all majors and backgrounds contribute, and we'll talk a little bit more specifically about what we do on the team. Yeah, so now we're going to share our perspectives working on the student teams. So I've worked on the content team. Rachel and I have both worked on the outreach team, and then Rachel's worked on the Spanish team. So actually, if you see this little exercise, this little McDonald's infographic, that's an exercise I made, and it's actually on the CS Academy website. So I'm really proud of it. And so I've been working on the content team for a year and a half now, and it's been a really amazing opportunity to unleash my creativity, think about ways we can engage students best in our exercises to make learning super fun. It's been great to share exercises with my fellow teammates. We have a very diverse staff working to create these exercises, and so it's been great to receive feedback from other teammates, like constructive criticism about ways I can better improve my exercise and ways they can improve theirs. And also, like, design is super important, like choosing colors and choosing perspectives. So there's a lot of different things that I learned while working on the content team. And I was able to mentor some students last summer who were new to our project, and it was a very rewarding experience because I was able to help them to best use their backgrounds, both in Carnegie Mellon. Their majors, some of them are music majors, some of them are computer science majors, some of them are biology, and use their background and their perspectives to create these unique and wonderful exercises. So it was a wonderful experience, and I've learned a lot from it. And if you check out our website, you can see some of the exercises our student team has made. Pretty much all of the exercises on our site are made by the students. So it's for the students, by the students.
Yeah, and I can talk a little bit about the Spanish translation team. So I started working on our Spanish team last summer. And we're relatively new. We're working to expand our curriculums. We've translated our CS0 and CS1 course fully into Spanish, and this summer we're working on translating our more advanced CS2 course into Spanish. And we're also doing outreach in Latin America, and we've done some professional developments in Spanish as well. So those are the kinds of things that I've been working on. It's so much fun working on the Spanish team. I think the best part is probably just the student team itself has such a variety of backgrounds in Spanish. I mean, there's so many different ways to speak Spanish. There's so many different countries that have their own dialects and things like that. So part of the challenge of translating these courses is trying to find a neutral Spanish, which is not a thing that exists, but we do our best to make sure that it's accessible to all Spanish-speaking people. And so we've run into all kinds of issues, and we're constantly finding these little challenges, like even at the beginning when we're translating things like colors, like the color brown, there's like 6 different ways to say it depending on where you're from, and maybe one word is offensive in one place or not in another, and so there's all these little things we have to consider, and it's really fun to discuss that with our team members because everyone's from a different place and their Spanish is from somewhere else. And it's not just about translating like the notes and the exercises, the words on our website, it's also about translating the concepts because we have all these exercises, we want it to be relatable for the kids, but the issue is that a lot of that is like culturally specific. So we had an exercise that was about like the trend a while ago, the dab trend, yeah, that. And so that's very American culture and like pop culture, and so it's hard to translate. Like we actually had no idea where to go with that. And so thinking not just about how do we translate the words, but how do we create exercises that feel relevant to the students in Latin America and as much as students in America. So that has been really interesting. For me specifically, I learned all of my Spanish in school. So sometimes my vocabulary is a little bit limited. Like, for example, I was working on the exercise right here, this kayaking exercise. I've barely gone kayaking in my life, let alone talked about kayaking in Spanish. So when I came to translating this exercise, I had to do some research. I went and I learned about all the parts of a boat in Spanish. I learned a lot about boats that day, but it's just constantly running into these small things, and each person speaks a different Spanish, so we run into our own challenges, and we're constantly trying to reconcile these things. So that has been a really incredible part of working on the Spanish team, and getting to work on this fast-paced team. Like, we're really new, so it's exciting to see it grow so fast.
Yeah, and then talking a little bit about the outreach team. So outreach and teacher support is kind of like how you would describe that category. So the main thing that we do here is we run our professional development events, which we call PDs. And we are the TAs in that sense. We are teaching teachers how to use our platform, teaching them fundamental programming concepts in Python, which is our core language, all while providing a very user-friendly interface, like graphics-based. And so Rachel and I have been doing this for 1.5 years, as long as we've been on the team, and we've probably taught hundreds of teachers by now, so it's really exciting, and most of them are probably here, so that would be cool if we run into them at some point.
Yeah, for me in particular, I love working with the professional developments, getting to talk to all of you guys. I think of myself as a CS teacher as well. I've been a teaching assistant in some CS courses, and doing the professional developments is a great opportunity to talk to other CS teachers and teach you guys. So I really learn a lot from them, and it's exciting to meet all of you.
Yeah, it's really inspiring because it's a great way for us to pay back the wonderful world-class education we've received at Carnegie Mellon and pay that forward in a sense. And it's really nice because, you know, you can think about it as you're teaching one teacher, but that teacher is like spreading their network to teach and influence hundreds of other students to potentially inspire them to teach to pursue computer science in college. So it's a really great mission that we have, and we're really enthusiastic about it.
And so, yeah, are there any questions? We'd love to take some time for a Q&A real quick. Yeah.
You guys are doing what is your PV? Are you doing a PV this week?
We have professional developments all throughout the summer. We have one next week and a couple more coming the rest of the summer. If you want to sign up, you know.
Yeah, you can stop by our booth, booth 506, for more info. We have PDs all throughout the summer and also during the school year, so super flexible. They're on Zoom,
And
so
they're
that's really
completely free.
yeah. So you're talking about mentoring students? Yeah, so we're mentoring students within the team. So some of our newer students and younger students, we kind of pass along our experience that way. So we are more teacher facing, and then we connect with teachers, and then the teachers are kind of the liaison between us and the students. Happy to take more questions.